I'm Jeff Gordon, and you're watching Racing America.
Well, hey, everybody, welcome in to your favorite racing talk show. This is indeed the Revved Sports Show from Texas. Showtime Bobby Chaffee, that's me right here. The Iceman, Ronnie Rodriguez, that is the man over to the left-hand side of your screen. Coming to you from North Central Texas. I'm from South Central Texas. So we are indeed the Revved Sports Show. And we are back on the air after a hectic week of scheduling to try to get on the air last week.
Crazy stuff, man. Absolutely crazy. But the show goes on each and every time. So glad folks are with us. We got a fun one tonight, man. Bottom of the hour around 7:35, 8:35 Eastern. We're going to talk to Matthew LaPrade, winner at Houston. But there's a lot more to talk to him about. So we'll talk to him about that. And then coming up in about 10 minutes or so, we're going to talk Dirt in the Dome. We're going to talk to the man. It'll be Cody Summer joining us. So diverse program that we have tonight for the masses that may be checking in across the world.
Yeah, going to be an interesting show. Talk about two dynamics of the spectrum there.
Yeah, man.
Got a youngster, a really youngster. You got to be careful tonight. You got a youngster. We got to both be on the A game to not drop too many George Carlin words tonight with the youngster on. But with Cody, who knows? We never know. But
I'm sure he's probably heard him before. But yeah, for sure. So yeah, and your live comments, we'd love to have them tonight. And great idea here by Bobby. So something that we're going to be doing. Probably, for the foreseeable future right there. Again, we're live. So let's talk tonight. We always want to talk about the topics that you guys want to talk about. So if you want to drop some comments in there, drop some conversation, and Lord knows there's things to talk about. Holy smoke, there's things to talk about. Tell us what you think. And you could pick you up a RUSS shirt and hat, courtesy of On Demand Shirts, title sponsor of the Revved Up Sports Show. So drop those comments right there wherever you're checking out, whether it's a YouTube or the Facebook or whatever. And yeah, let's talk. Let's talk about things on this program. That's what we do. We talk.
And you can somewhat put it in a textual concept, basically meaning that don't just put, hey, that was a great comment. Just because when we go back and read the comments, they don't always pop up and we don't know exactly which comment that you're referring to other than all of them.
Yeah.
Which is what we would say, because all the takes are great that we have.
No, there's never a bad take on this show.
Yeah. But put it in a context. Yes, I agree that I agree with XYZ, or I think that this guy is a beeping because of beeping kind of thing.
Well, you can say that too. Well, you probably shouldn't. Somebody comes to mind right now that I think may get some attention tonight, and he doesn't even drive. He doesn't even drive. Man, I was going through the mail, and I don't know where our mailbox is. I mean, I do know the location of the mailbox cluster, but anyway, so man, I gotta check this out. I mean, you probably can't see it; the camera's too far away. I got jury duty on Monday.
Oh,
so if you, I mean, there's a comment right there. I mean, you might win a prize pack for telling me how to get out of jury duty. And don't say anything I don't like, whatever type of people. I mean, don't do that. Don't do that, because that won't get you a prize pack and probably get you banned from here for life. But yeah, I get to go to the old jury duty. I wouldn't mind being picked for jury duty if it was like, an interesting topic. The couple of times that I've gotten close, it's like embezzlement, and I mean, not that that's good, but it's like, yeah, if I'm gonna be in sit in a grand jury or something,
yeah,
you're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, my jury duty summons had the most awful timeline back about 8 months ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it happened. I had the jury duty the day before a funeral. And then I had jury duty the day before my grandmother died. So luckily, morning of, technically. So yeah, I had hell with jury duty, but I decided to grin and bear it, because I didn't. If you talk to the judge and say that you have extenuating circumstances, a lot of times they will excuse you.
Yeah.
But a lot of times they'll come through and say, "Oh, well, we'll just reschedule it for XYZ date."
Yeah, I could defer this. I could actually defer this, because now it's all different. I mean, there's like a website here where you go in and make sure that you're still supposed to go and all that. So I don't know. I'm actually hoping that maybe on Sunday I'll look there and it'll say that you don't have to go. But it's, I could say I have to work, but the whole thing is if they're going to change it, knowing my luck, Bobby, it's going to be like I'm going to get this thing pushed out to when like I really have to work. And well, technically I do have to work. I do have to work on Monday morning because this is at 8:30 and I've got something that I do from 9 to 10 every weekday. But I don't think that's just,
well. The good news is sometimes if you wait to the last minute and they drop it, that counts as going, so you get lucky that route too. So
the last time that I was actually at jury duty in Georgetown, so I made it to not like it's Dancing with the Stars where you get on the cusp of winning something, but I made it to where I was maybe going to get picked, and we're sitting there. It was like 2:00 in the afternoon, and there'd been this long wait, and you're just kind of sitting around there, and the two attorneys came in, and they're like, "Well, we just got something figured out." So they're like, okay, everybody can go. So I almost made it. And again, that was not going to be, again, not to make light of any crime, but that was one where I'm like, man, if I'm going to sit here 3 days for that, come on, man.
Yeah,
for
you
$6
don't want to
a
be
day?
you don't want to be on the right side of the court, which would be the attorney's left side.
Oh, is that right?
People that sit on the right, when you get your random number, you end up getting like that. Apparently, if you're on the right side of the courtroom and like number 75 and below or whatever, then you have more of a chance to get picked if you're on that side than you do on the other side. So
the one thing that I did think about was, it says on here, please dress appropriately for jury duty. No shorts will be allowed. So honestly, and this wouldn't be a whole stretch of anything. I could go to the jury duty like I dress for this show and for other shows that I do, because I'm usually in a polo and shorts. And when I show up in there and they're like, you're wearing shorts, be like, well, this is what I wear for work. Because even the other work, I wear a polo and shorts. So maybe that would be a way out. I don't know.
I don't think they take kindly to that. You might have to talk directly to the judge. I bet the bailiff probably say something to you too.
Yeah,
there were dudes rolling up in T-shirts and all kind of stuff when I got summoned. So
yeah, well, I've been doing this clean look. I've been trying to take care of my skin and shave and do all these different things. Maybe I'll go in there with like a 4-day beard, from the weekend, and go rolling up in there and say, let's go. Lock him up. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No. Anyway, so that's a highlight of my day. That's a highlight of my week. I'm going to jury duty on Monday. Check in on Facebook for live updates because I'll be updating. I update everything. I'm going to the bathroom. Put it on Facebook. Dog stuff. The dog
usually
stuff.
It's been the dog stuff here lately. So
the dog stuff, I tell you, man, the dog is right there with me all the time, and she's just so damn cute. I have to. And she's found another show she likes, Family Feud. She loves the, ding, ding. She just looks up, and it's like, yeah, there she goes. So maybe I'll take her on Family Feud. Who knows? See,
they do have the tryouts for that coming up in Austin. So
oh, great. Oh, all right.
Are you going to get 5 people in your family though?
Can you see my family on Family Feud?
Who'd be your 5th? It'd be, the 2 girls, the wives. Who'd be the 5th?
Probably have to be my dad. I think I'd probably have to get Dad to go on there. Yeah, get Dad rolling up there in a T-shirt and his short shorts and be a hit on Family Feud. Be a hit. By the way, speaking of the family, and Cody is coming up here in just a minute. Cody Summer in just a second. Happy birthday to my man. I think a lot of you folks remember Martin Tello, Mr. Bad Wrench. Happy birthday to Mr. Bad Wrench. He turns 84 today. I called him up and he's like, when we going racing? I'm like, when you get that car ready, we'll go racing again. That's how that all works.
Just don't have him stand in a spot where he's not supposed to stand and break a leg and sue everybody.
God. Oh, Lord. We don't need another closed racetrack. Don't need another closed racetrack. All right, let's go diving in right here. We are weeks away, a couple of weeks away from, in my opinion, I've been to a lot of races. I've been to a lot of races around the country. Last December, I was able to make it out to St. Louis for the Gateway Dirt Nationals, the Dome of the Americas there. And that to me was the coolest thing that I had ever seen. Here is the man, here's the promoter and the founder of this amazing event. It's Cody Summer joining us. Cody, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for
Good.
having me. You hear me good?
Yeah, we got you loud and clear, man. Got you
Good.
loud and clear. So, like I said right there, I want to dig into your mind before we talk about what's coming up here in a couple of weeks, first weekend there in December. Let's go back to 2016. How did this all come together with the idea of let's get the baddest ass dirt late models and modifieds that we can find and take them to St. Louis in the dome? How did this all come together and build this tremendous event that you have built?
Well, it's been a bit of a process, of course. It didn't just happen overnight, although it seemed that way to the industry. But I had worked on it for several years, like about 5 years. In fact, Flow Sports just posted a video, I think yesterday. Maybe it was today. I'm losing my mind at this point. But they really dove into the history. It was a 4-minute video, and they dove into like that first year and the process and like, but it was a 5-year process. Really had the idea. I've always been an innovator. I've always felt like to be successful, you have to be different. Even to this day, I operate in a very different mindset. I think that if you're complacent, you're failing. Even if you're successful, you shouldn't be settling. So back then in 2016, the sport was a little bit different than it is now, but it kind of in a way wasn't either. You know, I always use craft beer as a like an analogy. A lot of people like to try different craft beers. Well, the racing industry and the fan base is no different. They want to try different things. They want to see different things. And they may really like this Oktoberfest, but then next October, they're going to want something different. So you have to be willing to be, flexible, move the target a little bit. And back then, I just wanted to do something big. And I had this idea and I said, wow, I think this could work. At the Pontiac Silverdome. That was really the only inspiration I needed. Is once I knew that it had been done, I knew that I could do it. Fast forward, originally I wanted to do the Lucas Oil Stadium during PRI. Tried for 3 years. I literally tried for years. No, 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 no. There's a reason why. I'm not going to get into it, but basically that's how Indy Indoors happened in 2015. And I did a midget race indoors at Bankers Life Fieldhouse at the time, which is where the Pacers play. In a way, it was successful, and in a way, it was a failure. But either way, that was the segue into what is now the Gateway Dirt Nationals.
It's amazing.
That's crazy. It's the craziest ideas always seem to have the biggest success.
Yeah, yeah.
So Cody, one of the things that we notice is that the guys and girls that run the bigger series and the bigger races, you don't have to pull the personalities out of them like you do some of the more up and coming stars, because they tend to know how to play the part, if you will, right? With air quotes. Is that something that you guys talk about in a driver's meeting? Because some of your guys get out, I can't park there, say it with me, stuff like that. Is that something that you guys try to promote in a driver's meeting, or is that just something that you let happen organically?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think there's no secret that I encourage a certain type of behavior, but I'm going to clue you in a little bit here. So I think it was last year or the year before. It might have been last year. I used the reference and the analogy again of hockey. The gloves come off, they hit the ice. But once you all fall on the ice, it's over, and everybody needs to be okay with it being over. And there is a line, I've always said this, there is a line that you can cross. So as a promoter, we're kind of, I don't want to use the word we're flirting with disaster, because I don't like thinking of it that way. But at the end of the day, most promoters don't really want you to express your personality when you're angry. Let's be honest. Me, I want you to. I just don't want you to cross the line. And so that's where a lot of times I'll get in the drivers' meetings, or I'll talk to people individually, and I'll basically say, listen, this is the dome. You're expected to express yourself. And if you don't, in our unique format, there's a chance that maybe I just don't think that you really should be back. You shouldn't be invited. You shouldn't be a part of that pool or whatever. There are literally guys that are being invited today that probably statistically are maybe not one of the best. I'm using modified as an example. Maybe
Right.
not one of the best, but you know what? They've got one of the best personalities, and they fit the mold of what the Dome's about, and the fan base. The fan base there wants to see excitement, period. That's what they want. And it's my job to try to orchestrate giving that to them. And
Yeah.
so, but again, there is a line that can be crossed. I never want it to be like it's a free for all, because I think everybody could agree and know that that is definitely not a good direction. But I guess I would just ask everybody to trust my judgment, because we're almost 10 years into this deal now, and it's going good. So, um, yeah, we'll see what happens this year, but I guarantee you there'll be sparks and fireworks.
Absolutely.
There always
And the one
is.
thing that I learned, Cody, having been there last year, was talking to a lot of people. And again, the location is just great right there in the Midwestern part of the United States. But St. Louis fans, I mean, there's a lot of St. Louis fans that are still upset that, you know, the Rams left and all of these different things. And the fact that you have made that building, you have made that building the home of this event. It has been embraced by that community, and it's unbelievable to see the crowds. I mean, last year, opening capacity on Friday, and you know, capacity that had never been reached before. Talk about that. This is a community event at the same time, bringing people from all around the U.S.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, again, I think back, you brought it up already, but like 2016, part of the reason that I was even able to go there was because the Rams left.
Yeah.
If the Rams didn't leave, it would have made this whole thing probably not what it is today. Would it have been possible? Maybe this year, but maybe not this year, because playoffs come into play with the NFL and all these different factors that people don't understand with scheduling. And trust me, we are very small in comparison to the National Football League. If they have a game or they have playoffs, they don't give a dang about us. So, but I remember those early days, and there was a actual, real desperation to put something in that building. So we kind of got lucky. But my intuition was I need to go there. I remember flying in. I remember meeting with them. This was right after Indian Doors. And I was like, we need to pounce while the time is ready. So it is just kind of over the years, it's grown, though. The relationship with the city, the people there. You know, I have a lot of friends there now that I never would have thought I would have had, because of
I
just
bet.
learning over the years. We are 100%. I have no problem saying this. We are one of, if not the biggest event for the city of St. Louis when it comes to hospitality, restaurants, lodging, hotels. We're a big deal now, but we grew from a small thing to a big thing in 10 years, and so there's a lot of respect there. I think we've earned it, though. You know, I've always said you need to earn respect. Well, I think we have. We've earned it. We did it the hard way. They took a chance on us. We took a chance on them. You know, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's been done together. So St. Louis is definitely the home for this, and I don't know that it could work anywhere else. Honestly, I don't know that it could.
Yep.
So, Cody, when does the prep start? I'm assuming the day after actually probably even when the event's going, you're probably taking notes. Next year, I want to try to do this, and next year we should try this, or I don't want to do that again. Is it literally year round? Is that the easiest way to describe how your dedication to the Dome race is?
It definitely is year round. I mean, I already have a note for 2026 event. So that kind of tells you 2025 hasn't even happened, and we're already making notes of things. But see, there's so many steps to the process. Like, we did our invitations, we did our media credentials, we did our driver registration process, we did this post, that post, and whatever. Every time we do something throughout the year, we learn, okay, maybe we should have done that a little differently. So put that on 2026's notes, right? So like this year, for example, we did the draft show for the first time ever. We've already made notes for draft show 2026. So it is definitely a year-round deal. My wife now, Emma, she basically runs the event. She's our event manager. And there she is. Wow, look at you guys with the cues. Anyway,
Mess around, buddy.
You know, she's full time on this. I'm pretty much full time on this. I have another full-time employee. So we're talking minimum three full-time people. We have a ton of part-time people. I mean, I just had several people come here for the last 2 weeks helping get fence panels repaired, fence poles repaired, the trucks and trailers. I have 4 trucks and trailers that go to the Dome next Friday. So we leave in a week. Most people just don't realize the magnitude of what goes into this. And they also don't realize that we are so hands-on that we do it all. I mean, we literally are the ones. I have welded in my history. I bet you I've welded 80% of the fence poles that all them, you see them guys go through the corner and they knock all them fences down. Chances are I welded that pole that they knocked down. I'm just saying, but as we've grown, we've needed to bring in more help because it's just continuing to grow, which I'm very thankful. It's just been, the last few years has been, this year, I'm telling you, make note, it's going to be record. It's going to be record breaking in all facets.
Man,
So
I believe it.
I'm really excited.
And I have to ask you, because Bobby and I both race announcers before, race presenters, as they say, before any of these shows or any of that other stuff. So, you know, PA and streaming and so forth. Your pre-race, your driver introductions, you talk about being an innovator, and you talk about all the different aspects right there. That entertainment, I think so often people forget. Yeah, racing is kind of a byproduct of everything because people want to be entertained. Talk about that, because your pre-race festivities, Cody, are like this stuff I see with NASCAR and all this other stuff on TV. I'm like, what is that? I mean, you guys blow it out of the water every time.
So I feel like I'm having a conversation I just had yesterday with, literally I had 3 people here helping with, so we have these light letters that go up in the concourse and it just says #GatewayDirt and they're 6 foot tall and all this stuff. There are a lot of people that look at that kind of stuff and they go, why are we doing this? This is a race. And I explain to people all the time, this isn't a race. It's an experience, and it's moments, and it's memories. If you as an event cannot create memories and moments for people, then I'm going to tell you right now, you're small. You're not going to be big. Part of what has made this event be successful is moments, memories. I have people that get married literally, we probably have 2 or 3 engagements scheduled this year. We have 2 or 3 every year. And it's like, like I even laugh about it, but at the same time, to me, that means we're doing our job. It means that we are making this such a important place for people to enjoy that they want to make a life commitment like that. There are people that I know, I've had drivers that have a kid a day away from getting born and they're still there. You know what I mean? It's just, it's very unique in that aspect, but don't think that it is not strategical. It's not just it is by chance because people kind of gravitate, but there are certain things that are put in place because I believe in that. I believe in the memories and I believe in all the aspects, the pyrotechnics, the driver introductions, the ribbon boards, having it certain this way and that way. You know, maybe one day somebody's going to do an all-out documentary on what it takes, but there is a lot to the process, a lot.
So without blowing any secrets out of the water, is there something that you want to do that you haven't got a chance to do? Or is that always just on the backside to say, surprise, this is what I wanted to do and we did it? I mean, you want like people skydiving down from the roof of this dome during the national anthem with flags? I mean, what's something that you've always wanted to try and even maybe the powers that be been like, yeah, not so much. Let's not do that.
So usually with the powers to be, that is what's unique with this is, I can only kind of say or control so much in the whole thing, because at the end of the day, we have a venue. We have to respect that. It's their venue. It's not ours. But they give me a lot of rope. They do. They've kind of learned to trust my judgment and what we're doing. I've had a few ideas that just haven't panned out. I'll give you one, like back when Scott was here, Bloomquist, I'm talking about. I was this close. I had it planned for him to be dropped from the ceiling like Sting and the whole deal, and music and flashing lights, but I couldn't get the insurance and the company and all that stuff. I couldn't get it all jived. So it's usually little things that turn into big things, though. Like it's usually just little things. But if you're asking me if there's something big that I wanted to do that we just haven't done yet or surprise, usually I hint on things. I like to tease because I'm a builder, which is it's kind of about promoting. I'll usually be like, hey guys, it's kind of like before midgets came, I teased it. I teased it before midgets came. I tested it. Just like winged sprint cars. Most people forget that winged sprint cars have went around the dome before, and I tested it. So I like to tease things because that's my way of doing market research. It's my way of going, oh, okay, people want this. And if they don't want it, then it kind of just gets pushed to the side. No big deal. But if something is calling out like this needs to happen, I usually push for it. I like to believe I'm a man of our people, okay, our fan base. I want to make them happy, and I try my best to make all of them happy. But it's very hard. But I don't know if there's anything that stands out as like we definitely want to do this different or that different. I get people all the time saying, "When are you bringing midgets back?" Have zero plans to bring midget back right now. Zero. They were given their shot. It didn't stick. No reason right now. I'm not saying never, but no reason right now to bring them back. We have a really good thing going with the divisions we have, and the fan bases just continue to grow. So it would be hard for me to justify that. But, one day I'd love to do an indoor winged sprint car race. Now, whether that's at the Dome or somewhere else, I guess we'll just see. But that would be my goal probably.
Alamo Dome, Cody. Alamo Dome, my man. That would be a good place. You mentioned the draft show, and I'll pull this up right here. So you guys went in there, and let's talk about kind of what you guys have set here. Here's Thursday and Friday. Here's your prelims, how all of that lays out. And like you said, I think what's so great about this event is, like you said, to where it's by invitation. And it's not just a matter of wins and losses and so forth and so on. The entertainment factor factors in. But kind of talk about this roster that you have right here. I think you're somewhere around 132. I think right now in the late models.
Yeah, 132 in the late models, 64 in the mods, which is about what we've been at. And frankly, that's because that's all we can fit. I mean, we can't fit anymore. If I wanted to, we could probably have 300 modifieds, honestly. I guarantee it, based off of the interest and the messages and the process that we do with requests. But, it's not an easy process because at the end of the day, you're always disappointing someone. So that hurts me. But at the same time, I have to think about the big picture and I have to think about the fan base. And then I also have to play the politics, Transparently speaking, if I got a sponsor that spends XYZ with me and they want John Blow in the race, I'm sorry, but I think the fan base should respect the fact that John Blow should be in that race. This sponsor is spending a lot of money, and they probably deserve to have a little bit of a say in that. So it's just a wide variety. But on our late model side of things, like that list you're showing right now, this is by far, I mean, it ain't even close to the most stout, talented, greatest field we've ever had. So I expect this year to be the best racing we have ever seen. So I'm extremely excited about it. We did this pool process, which basically drivers had to say they were interested in racing, and then we pooled them, and that's how we drafted them. And the draft was really just essentially a way of making Thursday and Friday equal. And it was me and Emma, picking teams, just having a little fun with it. Because before we just drew them out of a bucket and it was all luck. Now I think they're more equal now than they ever have been because we made it a team-based thing. And a lot of people love that. So I guess I'll be probably asking a lot of people over the next couple of weeks through the event if the draft process was successful in their eyes. But I think it was for sure. I think it was pretty popular. So
absolutely.
There's some heavy hitters on that list for sure that should make things very entertaining for
I think
anybody that flips on.
I just I followed the Dirt on Dirt top 25. It's kind of our sport is how we monitor like who's good, who's not kind of thing. I think we have 19 of the top 25 right now, which is the most we've ever had. So
Wow.
that says a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Gatewaydirt.com. That is where you can get all of your updated information. Of course, on Facebook as well is a good spot as well. Last one for me, Cody, and thank you again for jumping on here. This is I'm fired up, and like I told you in the message, I'm a little irritated that I don't get to go back there again. I'm still trying to get the event that I'm supposed to do postponed so I can get back to St. Louis. But the other part of this, because I saw something, there's an opportunity here, talk about this part, for somebody to win a dirt late model as well, right? That's factored in.
Yeah. So again, I'm always not being complacent. I'm always innovating, trying to create new things. I'm a racer at heart. Yes, I do this event as a profession, but I created the chassis business DRT, racedrt.com. And I thought, man, how cool would it be for someone to win not only cash, but to win an actual brand new, beautiful race car. We just posted it this morning. Yeah, see, I'm losing my mind. This is what happens this time of year. But we just posted the car's done. It's beautiful. And someone's going to walk out of there. All they got to do is buy a T-shirt. They can buy a T-shirt and they're entered to win. So what I love about that is that, you see a lot of things on the internet. It's like you got to pay for this and you get nothing in return. So it's like they call them waffles or whatever they call them. And they'll just spend $10 on a whim and be like, well, I hope I win. In my case, it's like you're getting a T-shirt if you spend $20, but you're also getting 20 entries into this possibility of winning something worth 70, 80 grand. And that's a really cool thing. So we'll see how it goes, but we're going to have it on site. The car's going to be on site, and we're going to be selling merchandise and doing different things. And again, it's all tied into Gateway Dirt, right? It's all tied into the whole big picture and just making it an experience for people. Again, never lose sight of the fact that all you want to do for people is create moments and create a great experience. So that's what really the DRT giveaway is about too.
Love it.
It's an awesome concept, and it's nice to see that when promoters understand that racing, while it's somewhat of the reason that people go, it ends up taking a backseat to the experience, because if they're having a good time and the racing is not so great, then they're still probably going to come back. But if they're having a great time and the racing is great and the atmosphere is outstanding, damn good and well, the whole family's coming back, because if mama's happy, everybody's coming back. That's the main thing that we talk about at our racetrack. That's why the women's restrooms are nicer than the men's restrooms, because if mama's happy, mama's bringing the family back. So
100%.
That's one thing. So
yeah, it's what it's about. You got to think about the whole picture. You got to think about the kids. You got to think about the gearhead dad. You got to think about the mom. I mean, I have a 32-foot Christmas tree in my pit area. And a lot of people go, what the heck do you have a Christmas tree in your pit area for? Well, mom and kid love to take a picture in front of that. Maybe the gearhead dad don't, but it all matters. At the end of the day, it all matters.
And mom's picture is important, because that's the one that gets posted on social media that says Merry Christmas and Happy Gateway Dirt.
Exactly. Hashtag Dirt in December.
That's it. There were a lot of people, Cody, that told me last year, it's like, this is our family vacation. This is what we do. We build our year around coming here. And that's pretty badass for a car race, right?
It is. I'm blessed, and I don't lose sight of that. One of the things about the event I always say is, we don't know how long it's going to last. And part of that's because we don't control all of it, right? If I controlled it all, I could tell you this thing will last forever. But the reality is, there's a city involved, and there's a venue involved, and there's all these elements involved. And one day it won't be here. It's just a fact. So we all have to enjoy it, including ourselves. We have to enjoy it while it's here at the end of the day. So that's what I'm focused on.
Absolutely. Congratulations on all of this success and how this continues to go. Congratulations. I saw you and Emma are now married. So congratulations on that.
My wife.
I did see on the draft that she is like the boss now. So people need to
Oh,
be
well,
ready.
you know how that goes. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's in charge.
yeah,
The
absolutely.
happy spouse runs the house. That's the way it
There
works
it
around here. So
Right.
Right there. It's good stuff. Cody, looking forward to the event. Of course, on Flow. If you can't get there, you can catch it on Flow Sports. Great coverage there throughout the duration of the event, December 4th through 6th. It is the Gateway Nationals at the Dome. Thank you, my friend. Looking forward to it. Reach out anytime if we can help you with anything at all.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you having me.
You got it, man. Take
Yep.
care.
Bye-bye.
You bet. You bet. Here he goes, man. That's how you do it. That is how you do it, my friend. That is Bobby, I'm telling you, man. It really is one of those things to where and this year is kind of nice because honestly for me it would be so perfect because you have Dirt at the Dome and then is the Derby where last year they were overlapping.
Derby is, yeah. Aren't they overlapping now?
No. I think they're a week apart this season. I think they're a week apart. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but it was like
the same weekend because the Derby starts on the 4th.
Okay. So last year it was like I was telling people that we were there with to where it's like, okay, we're gonna do whatever. I'd watch the prelims and everything, and it's like, but probably on Saturday night I'm probably gonna head to the hotel and watch the Snowflake. Totally forgot about the Snowflake. it was like forgot all about it. I'm like, I'll find out who won that later because that was just it is an experience. He is not lying about that. Something really, really cool. Again, Cody Summer, be sure to check them out at gatewaydirt.com. Matthew LaPrade coming up. But before that, how about a word from our great friends, the official apparel provider. Bobby and I are sporting the official Revved Up Sports Show polos. Don't forget to comment there if you want to. You might win a shirt, not a polo, from our friends at On Demand Shirts.
You've probably seen us all over the racing world and doing a lot of racing designs for events and race teams, but we also do a lot of stuff from small boutiques in small cities all the way up to Fortune 500 companies. Your brand deserves to be seen. We print on more than just shirts, hats, jackets, bags, and much, much more. Custom corporate branding starts here.
On Demand Shirts, based in San Antonio, Texas. They will take care of all of your apparel needs, whether it's shirts, whatever. You name it, and they will do it. It is On Demand Shirts. Diving back in, our On Demand Shirts guest line continues to roll on tonight. And here's a busy man, not only from this past weekend, but he is hard at it right now with some big stuff coming up this weekend. We welcome to the Revved Up Sports Show. It is our man, Matthew LaPrade. How we doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
Doing well, my man. Doing well. So let's talk about your career up to this point, and then we'll get into everything else. You at the very old man age of 13 right now have accomplished so much, my friend. Tell us how all this started for you and how you've gotten to this point.
So we grew up building this house down by New Smyrna Speedway in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that was building the house, he owned a little dirt go-kart track out behind the big track, right? And so he invited us to come test his son's go-kart a few times, and we ended up racing. And so that led into kind of us buying one. We raced those for a few years, about 2 to 3 years. And then after that, we moved into some Bandoleros, and we ran a couple years of that, and then some legend cars. And we won a bunch in that, mainly like Winter Nationals, stuff like that we were really good at. And then we started the pro truck around last year, around August last year. We won once last year. And we came in strong for this year. Really excited. Knew we were going to have good equipment all year. We raced the truck a bunch, and as we raced the truck and got more experience in like a big stock car kind of feel, we then tested a Sportsman. And we ended up racing a Sportsman twice. The second time, unfortunately, the motor blew up in it. But then we got our modified built for us, which we've raced that 3 times now, finished well in every race that we've ran. We also blew a motor in that the second race too. But yeah, but then kind of led into Tom Usery Racing. We're racing their super truck this weekend at Florence, and I'm super excited for that.
So cool.
Yeah, I saw the video you posted today. That truck looks sharp. I mean, it's the same paint scheme that Caden took the victory
Yeah.
last weekend. But I mean that, you would think the body lines don't match up on the truck versus the car, but man, that thing looks sweet. Um, so pressure for that. I mean, obviously, young man, you're still learning the ropes of the racing, but you learning the ropes at life. I mean, are you overly abundantly? Do you feel pressure about it, or are they just like get in, do your thing, and let's just bring me a steering wheel or bring me a checkered flag? Like, what's the strategy this weekend?
So yeah, you definitely feel a little bit pressure because the car you're getting into is good equipment. There's been many wins that have came out of that car and that team at that specific track. So there's definitely a lot of pressure that goes into it, and definitely people are kind of like counting on you. You're in their car and stuff like that. So yeah, there's definitely a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously the win this weekend, they're in Houston. So I do want to ask you, and thank you for coming to Texas and race here, by the way, because as you know, it's something where we're just trying to keep it going around here, and it's folks like you coming making the trip. Talk about the Houston track. I know a lot of folks there, in Florida and Alabama and some of the different spots. They'll say, well, we like the half miles, we like the big tracks, we like whatever. Talk about Houston, little racy, little 3/8 mile right there, nice and wide with some surface changes.
Yeah, so I really like that track. It's definitely a tricky track to learn. I feel like I've struggled a little bit at that track, definitely with my line dependent. That's a really tricky track in my opinion. We've raced that track a few times. We raced it a few times in the truck and now twice in the modified. The first time we raced the modified, we ended up second in it. In the second time we raced this past weekend, we ended up first. But that track's such a fun track. Like if you're comparing it to Five Flags or Mobile or Montgomery or something like that, it's way different. It's hard to compare it to, just because how tight that track is compared to every other track, big track.
So in terms of like the driving style change, I mean, like like Rodney said, everybody is accustomed southeastern to the big old half miles. You got no walls around Mobile, and you got the just the great big nonstop speed of Pensacola. Does the driving style? I mean, like mentally, do you have to get prepared? Like, okay, you can't really move the guys at the big high speed half miles. You nudge them a little bit, but you're able to kind of put the bumper to them at that 3/8 mile there in Houston. Do you change your mindset a little bit and get you a little snugger in the seat, going, all right, let me see if this guy chops me off again, pop, bang, I'm gonna take care of it.
Yeah, so I would say the smaller tracks are definitely a little bit rougher. I feel like that's where we've torn more body parts out at the smaller tracks than we have bigger tracks. Five Flags, normally the racing are pretty clean, a little scuff here and there. But the small tracks, you got like someone running over you all the time, someone's chopping you, like you said, you're getting turned down the straightaway, stuff like that. I mean, little stuff, but it costs a lot when you have to tear a whole body off and repaint it and stuff like that. But yeah, we've torn a good amount of bodies up at small tracks. Nothing big at bigger tracks like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of talk about the difference right there, talking with the modified. I mean, we talk about it all the time where that's a lot of horsepower on a little bitty skinny tire, where you're out there generating so much horsepower and you just don't quite have the footprint that you wish you had in something like that. And then with the truck, I know the truck's here. I don't know about what you're doing this weekend, but obviously the difference is right there to where with the truck at times it's like, okay, it just doesn't want to go. Kind of talk about that part where it's like, man, vast differences between those two.
Yeah, so the modified, you can feel the power so much. Like if you get out of a truck and you go and hop in the modified, like we were doing at Houston, we were going back and forth, and I got in the modified and almost wrecked it because I forgot how much power there was in those things. Because you just get on the gas and it's like burp, and you just feel it lift up the back end when it does that. And then if you get out of the modified in the truck, you feel so much more comfortable because you can just hammer down, getting on the gas hard. But definitely the smaller tracks like Houston, that's really the only small track I've raced and modified at. In the race, you don't have to get full throttle around the front stretch. And so that I ran that race I won this past week. I didn't run anything but half throttle in that place. Just because it saves so much tires when you do that. You're not spinning the right rears and stuff like that. Because the people behind me, my teammates actually were, my spotter was telling me that he was like, yeah, they're slipping and sliding already. It was lap 10. They were using their stuff up trying to get to me. But other than that, like Montgomery, you can get on the gas hard. You have to be aggressive at that place.
Yeah.
Speaking of being aggressive, tell us about New Smyrna, man. Obviously, Rusty's a friend of the show, and I've known Rusty for probably at least 15 years now, and he's a heck of a promoter. But I mean, talk about New Smyrna. You know, right? Daytona's right down the street, but when the World Series comes to town, I mean, it's like that's center stage. You know, 7 nights in a row, 8 nights in a row. You know, talk about how the community reacts there to New Smyrna.
Yeah, so it's definitely more packed there down there for speed weeks and stuff like that. When you have those big races, people will come down early. The stands will be packed, parking lots full, stuff like that. But it's just way more people around the town. Daytona mainly because that's where big race goes on following week. But there's just way more people than there normally is down there. You got stands packed every night. But that's such a fun show to go watch because you got so much racing going on between the whole week. I think it's 11 nights or something like that. There's so much fun to watch.
Yeah. So this weekend in that truck that you mentioned, it's off to Florence, and that's another one of those racetracks to where it's like you circle that as a short track that you just want to race at because of the history and you know the drivers that have come through there. Kind of talk about some of the anticipation for that one where you have to dial yourself back a little bit, not only with the team that you're racing with, but just kind of the lore of racing at that place. It's just a great racetrack.
Yeah, that place is a lot of fun. I drove there the first time earlier today, and I had a blast there. It's really throttle dependent. You can't get on the gas really hard. Even in the trucks, you can't get on the gas hard. And super truck 10-inch tires too, which I was surprised about that one.
Oh wow!
But that's such a fun track. It's a little bumpy, a little rough, but it's such a fun track to drive. I know a lot of great people, a lot of great drivers have came out of that track.
Yes, sir.
So, Matthew, is there anywhere that you want to go that you hadn't had a chance to? I mean, do you kind of set your? I was looking at the schedule, and it's like the only kind of outliers us in Houston, right? But everybody else,
Yep.
you know, you got Auburndale, Pensacola, Mobile, kind of mixed in there. I mean, is there anywhere that you kind of want to go, or is it just kind of the limitation of, well, I only have this vehicle and this vehicle, so I can only race here, here, and here?
So it's not really a limitation of the vehicle. It's more a limitation to age, which next year all that's going to be resolved because I turned 14. I can race at NASCAR sanctioned tracks. But that'll help a lot because definitely the one track I want to race next year, I asked my dad since we signed with Tom Usery Racing. I was like, you think we can go race at North Wilkesboro? I was like, that's such a cool track.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I know that's a great place. It is. I remember seeing it back when it was tore up, when, you know, about the time you were born, seeing it in the state of disarray. And I've never been so happy to be so wrong because I never thought we'd be racing at North Wilkesboro, and there we are, right? The last couple of years. Cool, so yeah, it's a cool thing. You know, and what's crazy about Wilkesboro is that it's in the middle of nowhere. You know, Wilkes County's kind of surrounding it, and you know, North Wilkesboro's there, right? The little bitty town, but it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, which is a really good thing. So what's when you end up running like Pensacola and Five Flags, what's the fan reaction? Do you get a lot of kickback being 13? I mean, do some of the guys just kind of shrug it off, be like, oh, he's a 13-year-old, what can he do? And then you show up and you know you're getting top threes, top twos, wins, poles, stuff like that. How do the drivers react with you when they find out you're 13?
So recently in the modified, a lot of people have been shocked just because it's been my first few races in the modified. I think there was a lot of people that were kind of impressed on Montgomery about me sitting on the pole, but because that was no one's ran that fast of a lap time there in a long time. So I think people were impressed about that. I'm not too sure about the trucks because we got not a lot of people like everyone at Five Flags, but Yeah, we've had a few run-ins at that track.
Yeah, as most do, as most do.
Always.
I do want to ask you. You mentioned the guys racing with you this past weekend. Kind of talk about those guys. I mean, beating Grant Thompson and Jared Maupin. You know, Jared Maupin's a guy that Bobby and I have covered for a lot of years around here, and it's like, man, when that dude gets on pavement, look out. Kind of talk about those two dudes, man. That's cream of the crop right there that you finished ahead of this past weekend here in Texas.
Yeah, so Grant Thompson, we're actually racing his truck at Pensacola for the Derby, and he's spotting crew chief in for it, which is cool. That I just went out there and beat him, student beat teacher, but he's a really good kid, really good driver. He doesn't get to race a lot anymore. I think that was his third race this year actually, but just such a good kid. Jared Maupin, he races everything, every day, every weekend. He's a really good driver. Like, he goes on dirt, wins, comes to asphalt, wins. Like, he races 4 classes at Houston when we go up there. Yep. And he normally wins 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 4 races. So that's cool to beat both of them.
Absolutely.
So who were your role models growing up? I mean, you know, were you like a Jimmy Johnson guy, or, you know, I mean, obviously you had to follow racing a little bit to get this deep as you're in it now. Like, who were your role? Did you have, was it Cup guys? Was it local guys from New Smyrna? I mean, who were your guys growing up? Who were your racing role models?
So I always liked Kyle Busch a little bit. Just because I thought he was funny, you know, he was a good driver. I thought he was funny, a little heated sometimes, but I grew up watching him a lot. I always rooted for him going to Daytona when we went back then. We don't go as much now, and then when we went to New Smyrna, I went to school with Daniel Dye for a while, for a few years, and so we would always go to New Smyrna together. We would watch races, and I would watch him race super late models around New Smyrna for forever. I think it was like 5 years I watched him race around that place, and now it's cool to see him. He's in trucks and Xfinity now. That's just cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So I have to ask you. You mentioned it right there. The Derby coming up. So that right there. I mean, and it's, you know, the Snowball Derby is. I know a lot of races have grown and are getting bigger and back and forth with everything, but that seriously is the Super Bowl. To be in a vehicle that weekend on that racetrack at Pensacola. How are you processing all that, man? Because that is the top echelon in short track racing to get to be a part of that weekend.
Yeah, so there's definitely a good bit of pressure on that one. We got a good piece of equipment. I think we can go out there and win it in the truck for sure. We've ran good amount of laps around that place in the truck, so I'm excited about that. But you know, a little bit of pressure, but you just kind of have to fight through it. You know, prepare in the gym. You got to be mentally fit. Stuff like that. And then the modified, that's going to be a tough race because those things have like you said, so much power. But at the end of a 75 lap race at a track that eats tires, basically, it's going to be hard at the end of the race for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, Matthew, I got one left for you, and this is going to be out in left field, and your media people are going to laugh. They're either going to love it or they're going to hate it. Rodney's already cringing about it. Just tell me at your age, you're not one of those 6'7" kids that does this in the middle of junior high school, huh? Is that what it is? Like, you wait, hey, look, car number 6'7's on the racetrack. Tell me you're not one of them.
He's in a hotel tonight, so this dude doesn't mess with that shit. He's
so you know, I feel like it was a thing back like a while ago, kind of, and I feel like it died, you know. And I used to like make fun of it a little bit, you know, kind of play along with the whole thing. And now it's like a thing again, and I'm like, everyone's saying it, and I was like, no, and it just makes me so mad when people say it, especially my sister.
I know, man. It's and the worst part is, Matthew, it's like when you get old dudes like me, and they're like 6'7", I'm like, shut up. I'm like, come on, man. What are you doing? No, it's crazy. Dude, this has been a joy to talk with you. Congratulations on what you've done to this point. Congratulations on the big win here. Looking forward to watching you this weekend as well at the Derby, and open seat here anytime, man. You've got a big race to talk about. Let us know. Tell Damon to reach out, and we'll do it again soon, man. Would love to talk to you again.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Good luck, dude.
Take care,
Thank
buddy. You bet. That dude's got it together.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was going to
That's,
ask him what he does for fun, but I thought the 6-7 question was going to be a little better.
No. That's good because that is something right there that's like taking everything over. You know, I
mean, he's
that a
the
lot.
same age as my nephew. My nephew does that damn 6-7 thing all the time. So,
Oh God, I know. I tell you, it's yeah. Well, it too soon shall pass. Just
Yeah.
just
my
give it a
nephew's
little bit.
playing football, and this kid's running around in circles getting checkered flags. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
kind of crazy how that works.
nothing wrong with
When you
that.
put that age into perspective, you're like, man,
Yeah.
damn, 13. Good Lord.
Yeah, Matthew LaPrade, man, and he's I don't know what kind of media training he may have done, but Damon mentioned to me he's like he'll be ready. Don't worry, he'll talk, and I'm like that's great, and he does. Dude sounds like he's 25. I'll tell you, impressive stuff right there. He was talking. We talked there about the Snowball Derby. Racing America has something that is put together about the Snowball Derby. Take a look at this.
This isn't just a race. It's a dream. A dream carved into the asphalt itself, where every turn tells a story of grit, heartbreak, and triumph. It's a proving ground for the fearless, chasing a shot at immortality, where drivers sacrifice everything year after year. For over half a century, this race has been more than a competition. It's a heartbeat. A pulse that thunders through every soul and every driver who dares to chase glory. Here, under the December sky, at this place, at this track, heroes will rise. And legends will fall. This isn't just a race. This is the Snowball Derby.
Woo! Let's go racing, buddy.
I was texting Gina yesterday about going down there. So now that your schedule's turned upside down,
man,
I got to work on. I need to call Bruce, see if he's got an extra cabin in that fifth wheel that he can rent out to me for a couple of days. So
I don't think they're going to that. I don't think that they're. And by the way, speaking of Bruce, congratulations to those guys, 4-time champions in Houston. After winning there in the trucks, they're hitting around about some news. I don't know what that might be about, but yeah, that's coming up. And I mean, think about that. And we had the conversation there with Cody about the dome. I mean, those are just massive events, man. And I'll tell you, like we talk about on here all the time, there are those staple events, and then you have the ones that are just growing, like this one here. I mean, look at this, the Bigley 128 that's coming up, and I guess week after next. And I mean, look at that lineup. I mean, I think there's 52 cars in this thing. I think is what the official count is, because this may not be the latest for Ricky and UARA. I mean, and that's like right before the Derby.
It's the week before. This is Saturday and Sunday before the Derby.
Yeah. And you've got, I mean, the Derby car count is just astronomical. And did you see the Pro Late model roster? Holy shit. I mean, it's man, those 2 weeks of racing are just going to be
Yeah, the 28th is
unbelievable.
Friday and the 29th is Saturday. So yeah,
Man.
it's the Friday and Saturday before you head to the Derby on Thursday. Well, I
Yeah.
guess technically Wednesday if you take part in all that preseason testing. It's the same weekend as the Derby preview, I think.
Yeah, and with the two races, I mean, with the Bigley and with the Snowball, just drastically different. The two races, obviously, the different racetracks. I think both of them have one thing in common, that the abrasiveness of the surface, is something that's going to be something to follow. But you've got one that's shorter, obviously, there with the Bigley versus the Snowball. And then obviously the other part of that is you have one where you can go practice a whole lot, like all week. And then you have this one here where you don't get a lot of track time. So two radically different events and back to back. And then the dome right there for dirt. Holy smoke, man. This big show season, man. This is the time. This really is the time to be a race fan.
Yeah, some people get excited when the weather starts turning a little colder. They want their pumpkin spice lattes. They want their fur boots. They want all different kind of stuff. I want big show season. I want races like the dirt in St. Louis at the Dome. I want races like the Snowball Derby where it ends up being the LCQ, ends up being an all-star race. Any other racetrack in the country, the last chance qualifier to make it into the Snowball Derby is an all-star race.
Yeah.
That's the kind of racing I want. The Snowball Derby is one of my favorite races of the year. Last year, it was on the worst day of my life. This year, I'm hoping things will be a lot better when I get down to Pensacola, when I head down there. So, but yeah, it definitely is, big show season's here. We've had our big shows coming up in Texas. We still got a couple of big ones coming up at the Race Ranch. Ray and them announced that big show in January is coming. They announced that this week, the big kickoff, to kind of knock the ice off the Midwestern cars to come down to the sunshine of the South Texas. And but I just when it gets cold, that's what I was joking when I got my hair cut the other day. I said, you cut my hair a little shorter than what I want. I said, but I'm probably going to freeze to death when I go to Pensacola because it never has been hot. It never hot the first weekend in December. Never.
These really are, and honestly, that's the cool part about the Dome, because I can tell you last year when I was down there,
snowing outside, wasn't it?
Oh, damn near. I mean, there was ice on the ground, and I mean, it was like trying to get over. Luckily, I was staying right by the. I mean, I was in the hotel right adjacent to the Dome, so it's like I would walk out, and it was so freaking cold, and so many people. And the other thing there, it didn't get to talk to Cody about it. Just kind of running out of time when we just have a great guest lineup like this. Was they are so good with how they funnel people in and out of there, because you're in downtown St. Louis, and it's confined, it's small, it's narrow. I mean, it's everything on top of each other, just like every major metropolitan city that you see, but they do a hell of a job. It's so weird. It's so cool because you drive in like when you come in on load day and you're coming in there on the main chute, and there's the arch over there, and it's just trailers everywhere. And it is, and I love what he said right there, because he echoed what people said about St. Louis, because that it really is a staple event there for that city, because it's heartbreak for them. And now, because I'll tell you the other thing that St. Louis really was excited about was their UFL team.
Yeah, the Battlehawks. They were that home team advantage for the Battlehawks.
Big deal. That is a big deal. You can laugh about the UFL or whatever, but they love that shit, because like I said, they've lost.
Did they take their team? Did they take the Battlehawks?
Oh, I don't know. I thought the UFL folded. I don't. Are they still? Is it still going?
And it's trying. I mean, they fired Dale Johnston today.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, and that's the thing with that, because they won't eliminate that team. I thought the whole league had been eliminated. That one will stay. I mean, if there's only one team, it will be that one, because it's like, I mean, they love that, and that Gateway Nationals is huge there, and the race fans, it'd be the race fans that you would least suspect. It's like, we live all year for this. It's crazy.
That's good though. That's a good problem to have.
Absolutely. Alamo Dome would be a great venue. I was joking with him, but man, imagine a badass race like that at the Alamo Dome.
I mean, they do good when they put the monster trucks in there. So
before they renovate it, it's going to get renovated. That bond passed. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What are they going to do with the old AT&T Center?
It's going to become a full-time the AT&T or the SB or the
Frost Bank
Frost
Center
Bank
now.
Center. Yeah, Joe Harry and your mama's Coliseum, all of that is going to become full-time rodeo grounds, is what I saw that was part of Prop A or 1 or whatever that was. It was all a cohesive effort to get the stuff built downtown, and then that would be full-time rodeo stuff. Did they rodeo there that often?
No,
mean, I
well,
know-
at Freeman they probably do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I saw an AEW. I saw an AEW event at Freeman, and then I went with the Puppet Master to a WWE event at Freeman. Great venue for pro wrestling. I mean, the way the seats are set up, old school. Like, and that's where the Iguanas used to play hockey, and everybody had a damn good time down there. So
they'd run some races inside of the Frost Bank Center. Get some racing going on in there. You do like the midgets in there.
Yeah, the indoor racing league or whatever it is in New Jersey and New York and all that.
Yeah. And that's the other thing I like what Cody said when he's talking about like bringing in the modifieds and the late models. It's all you need. I mean, because we pulled up those lists a while ago. I mean, that's enough. I mean, you've got so many prelims and everything that's going on there. They don't oversaturate that show so much to where like he was talking about being an innovator and talking about memories and all that. I mean, you don't want your memory to be, oh my God, I had to sit through 8 hours of nothing.
Another heat race, another this, another. You don't want that. Unless you're entertaining as hell, which is possible, because then you got to sit through the guys that flew through the fence. So
yeah, well, that's the other part. They're so good about when they go through the first one that I saw fly through the fence. I'm like, oh God, here we go. I went off to the bathroom. I came back. The fence was fixed. 15 minutes. It's like, damn. I mean, they definitely got their act together right there. So yeah, cool stuff. Let's dive into some NASCAR stuff because we haven't had a chance to have Sermon here since since the NASCAR season ended, and here we are. The lawsuits rolling on. Kyle Larson is the champion. The Denny Hamlin heartbreak. At the end of all that, point system questions and the NASCAR schedule or the times come out today, and I totally get it where with the times of the races and so forth. I kind of do wish that they would push it back a little bit and maybe start a little earlier. I kept hearing on the Channel 90, well, they want it to float into prime time. Ain't nobody gonna watch that shit in prime time. I'm sorry. There's other
Fox is trying. Well, Fox leads into animation domination, so and then if it's on FS1, you're not having to go head to head against baseball or football for the first half. So, I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, the CW still works. I mean, I think the CW aspect is still going to work. Did you notice they are now changing the call sign when you see the people with the O'Reilly Auto Parts series? It was down there today. They were talking to Dean Thompson, and they had it as instead of NXS, it was NASCAR OAPS series. NAOPS. Yeah.
Cool logo. I'll tell you, I really like the logo a lot. It's that black and green and so forth and so on looks really good. Looks really, really good. I think that is the one thing where it is a little baffling to me, to be honest with you, Bobby, where, and this is where like when I see the numbers, when I see people bitching about, well, only 1.5 million when it used to be 2.5, maybe 3 million. And then you look at the other sports and I know that people don't want to compare NASCAR or racing to some of the other sports, but when you see baseball drilling 19 million people watching and the NFL with these numbers, it's like, yeah, don't compare them because it's not even close. I mean, even on a good day, it's not even close.
Yeah, but baseball numbers are NFL doesn't count. Now there are some shitty NFL games that have low numbers. Your average college football viewership numbers are going to be down. They only like to talk about the great big SEC Big Ten showdowns that get all the hype, which means all the people are going to watch those.
Well, that's all that counts, buddy.
Your Thursday night shows aren't going to be watched. Your Friday night shows aren't going to be watched. Your early window Saturday shows, Saturday games aren't usually that highly rated. But, NFL's on its own, it's on its own rocket ship. So, all in all, when you take out the great big college matchups and then you take out the NFL, NASCAR hangs its own. When you had the World Series, I mean, it's beating it beats the ratings for, and you had a lot of people. A game 7 going into overtime, extra innings. That's going to take eyeballs, even though it was kind of late when it happened. But
in that World Series was different. We were actually having this conversation this morning to where it's like this World Series. It's like the Ohtani numbers are just unbelievable, just off the map. I mean, everything that he did right there. But that was a hell of a series. And when it all comes down to it, Toronto was this far from winning that shit. You know, so it was a, God, I hate using the epic word. It is a very epic World Series. I mean, it really was just a lot of factors. But where I go back to the NASCAR stuff, when you start digging into the numbers, and it's kind of the little bit of the head scratcher to me, is that where the Xfinity, now the O'Reilly series, to where you look at those numbers on the CW, which people laugh at the CW. I'm not laughing at the CW because they got a legitimate, that's a legitimate sports network to me right now. You look at their numbers, even in college football season, with maybe you don't have the SEC playing on CW, but they're playing somewhere if you can find them. Thank you, YouTube TV. But the Xfinity numbers were great, all things considered. They were 1.5 million people.
But there's two things. It's on A, network TV. B, it's a car that resonates with the people because it looks like a race car.
And it's good racing. That's the other.
That helps out a whole hell of a lot.
Well, and they have characters. I mean, not characters, but they have, I think, a little more
identities. The racers have identities now, where before they were afterthoughts of Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski. Now you actually know who the hell half the guys are, because they're getting a chance to shine when Connor Zillage wasn't kicking their ass.
Well, and I think with that series, you've got, there's DEI, Junior Motorsports is in there. So there's that influx there, with his cars. And it's, I joke around about the Busch Series bully, but I mean, that dude right there, I mean, you tune in because he's going to do something asinine sometimes. So it's, it's a better product. I mean, it's just a better product. So, and I heard, I guess
a formula that's been working.
Yeah. I guess they did some sort of the state of the whatever thing today, to where it's like, well, we expected that there would be a dip, but with the numbers going softer with USA and so forth. And I did see, I guess when the times came out today, that again, they're duplicating what they did with a lot of those races on USA. And I guess the Final Four again will be on NBC or whatever they just did. And I mean, I think that hurts. I mean, I really think that hurts, NFL or not, because like you said, you can't count the NFL. They are going to throttle you every time. And it can be one of these games in Holland or wherever. They're still going to outdraw you. It's its own monster.
Well, I mean, there's a reason why the Daytona 500 moved to the last weekend in February for 2027. Yeah, because the network executives got together with NASCAR and said, hey, by the way, we're bumping you from President's Day weekend because that's when the NFL wants to have the Super Bowl. NASCAR can't say shit, and they're not stupid enough to go head-to-head with the Super Bowl. Only thing dumb enough to go head-to-head with the Super Bowl is Puppy Bowl.
Yeah.
And so, that's why they had to move the 2027 race. Yes, the 2027 race or 2026 race was already on the calendar. They announced the date and time today. So before people freak out, what about the 26th race? It's on the calendar. There's a start time and a date already. I think it's the 17th, I think, or 18th.
Yeah. There will be a Daytona 500 next year, or coming up in February. Don't worry, guys. Nobody's going to watch it. Yeah. Nobody's going to watch it, but it'll be on there.
Well, so, I think that the other part too about the numbers, though, they knew the numbers were going to go down by just the simple way that they calculate the ratings for 5 races on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. That's that.
When you're not covering, it's kind of like the WWE. They're not really releasing ratings numbers for Raw, because they don't have to. Because Netflix isn't privately held, but it's not like you're succumb to the same Nielsen ratings as you are on regular network TV.
Yeah. And that's a very complicated metric to try to figure all that out. I mean, now with all the different, all the different metrics that you have, I mean, it's a really tough thing to figure out. And I mean, I guess the next thing that we're going to sit here on edge waiting for is going to be, what happens with the season championship, I guess I should say. Is it going to stay something, a semblance of what we have here? Do we go back to a 10 race chase? I mean, I don't think, a big part of me is like, just go back to the full 36 thing. Give them what they want. That NASCAR won't.
It ain't going to 36. It's going to go to 10. It's
Yeah.
probably I think the 3-3-4 is probably the most likely scenario.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, we didn't get a chance to talk about it last week. I mean, it is really unfortunate. I won't necessarily say shitty because it's the nature of the beast that you're a part of when a flat tire determines who the overall season champion is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's racing and shit happens.
Yep.
Like it's everybody from the drop of the duels at Daytona when they started accumulating points for the duels at Daytona, stage points. Everybody was in the same sandbox. The sandbox just continues to get smaller and smaller and smaller till you get, 32 other drivers kicked the hell out, and you got 4 guys left to play in the sandbox, and they play musical chairs for 312
Yeah.
laps.
Yeah. You still have to perform all year. And that's where to me, it's just so interesting. Why 2025 was this when when the shit hit the fan, when it's like everybody's up in arms? And I think I know the answer to that, because the guy that won championships in this system is not Chase Elliott or Ryan Blaney or multiple championships. I think that's what it
was
all
best
was.
case and worst case scenario for NASCAR.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Best case scenario, Corey Heim won the truck championship. Worst case scenario, Connor Zillage doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's they feel bad for Denny Hamlin, but they're like, Kyle Larson's a good guy. He's one of our good guys. That's okay. He can be champion.
And you and I kind of went back and forth on that a little bit, to where when you go back and you look at this, the fact that one of those guys didn't win a championship that he should have won, it sucks. And that's a flaw in the system. But the other part of it is, I mean, the way everything's set up on that championship Sunday, I mean, that was the Cup Series, for as much as, folks want to say that it's not competitive, it's no good, it's boring, all this, that, and the other. You had 4 dudes in there where those were probably the 4 that needed to be in this format, the 4 vying for that championship. Yeah. Other than, it's like the one that I keep seeing, because they do the Winston Cup standings as of now. Chris Buescher was always in there. Chris Buescher didn't win a race. And I don't know how they're going to make a byproduct of this.
They're still going to put an emphasis on winning races. It's that simple. Yes, they have to.
You have to.
And you're not getting rid of stage breaks, because that's a TV timeout. That ain't going anywhere either.
This is just what Cody Summer was talking about, to where you have to be innovative, and you can't, like he said, you can't sit there, because if you're going to sit there, you're going to get left behind. And that's kind of what has happened here, I think, with the other 2. And there's a big part of me where it's like, it doesn't have to be the same way across the board. I mean, with the other 2 series, let them run 34, 33 races, whatever they run. Let them run the full thing like we do at the short tracks. But with the Cup Series, with the entertainment value driving series, do something different with that. Because I quite frankly thought, it sucked for Denny. I mean, that he was that close. And there was nothing where I saw with William Byron.
Nothing nefarious about the reason that they called a caution because one Hendrick car hit the wall and the other one won. Like that.
Right.
There's nothing nefarious about that.
William Byron wasn't as brokenhearted as Denny Hamlin, but that dude felt like hammered cat shit after that race.
Yeah, he did. He even apologized in the post-race press conference. Went up to him and said, "I'm sorry, dude."
Yeah, and it should have been Denny's. It should have been Denny's race. And I saw the comment there about the Hamlin Revenge Tour. I don't know if Denny, he will run again. I mean, he's going to race again. I think he's been pretty clear that he's going to race another couple of years, but I don't know. I guess he'll make another charge at this. I think. I don't know. I just don't know what.
If Corey Heim had never had a better shot at running a full-time Cup season as he did there on Sunday afternoon, because I really thought I think he was going to come out and actually end up pulling a Carl Edwards and be like, "Yeah, I'm done. Screw you guys. I'm going home."
I really thought that if he won, that he would walk away. I really thought that would happen. And I gotta say, when I saw him in the car, Bobby, after the race, and he kept wiping his face, I'm like, shit, he might do it anyway. You know, he's got other things to do. So what do you do with the season championship? The lawsuit thing. Now you've got Hendrick and Mr. the captain deposed or disposed or whatever that
they're going to be. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we saw the numbers that came out, and there's all that, and by the time we get to what December 1st, is that when this whole shit is supposed to
It's
be?
supposed to hit the fan even worse come December 1st.
Man, that is yeah. So we'll wait for that to come around and see how that all shakes itself out. But it's definitely going to be an interesting off season as we get set to go. The other news, we did the snowball piece a while ago, and by the way, great work there from Racing America. And you mentioned this as well. I saw it after you mentioned it to me, but another name added to the Snowball Derby entry list, two-time champion, looking to do it again. The first time I went there is my man Kyle Busch, the winner. Maybe that's that little spark going to get him.
Yeah, that's what he needs. Maybe that's what he needs.
Yeah, hope so. Maybe get some of that Christopher Bell effect where he starts running some late model stuff, heads back over to the Chili Bowl, and well, the other part of that is Christopher Bell's got really, really good equipment. Kyle Busch doesn't.
Yeah, especially since RCR is not going to Dodge.
Well, and has the Chevrolet car come out yet? I don't know what
Friday.
to believe that I see.
Friday. Mr. H said it's going to be revealed Friday.
I wonder what's it going to be? Some
concept car.
Going
to be a Chevrolet concept car that looks like a 4-door Camaro.
Okay. Well, there you go. Bring back the Monte Carlos, man.
They're going to base it off a Malibu chassis and some other stuff. So, like it's a weird concept car. There was some kind of video done at a GM Design Center about 6 weeks ago, and there was a 4-door silhouette of a 4-door Camaro.
Yeah.
And so they were like, "Oh, I think everybody's like, that's what it's going to be. It ain't going to be a Corvette because the specs don't fit. Chevrolet doesn't have a sedan or a coupe that fits the template, so they're going to let them run some kind of concept car for a car that's supposed to debut for production at the end of 2027. They're going to let them run at the beginning of 2026.
I'll be damn. Well,
that's weird for me, but
I ain't never seen a 4-door Camaro, just like I ain't never seen a 2-door Toyota. So
you ain't never seen a V8 rear-wheel drive Toyota either.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever, I get it. I mean, I get it. It's a different deal. Lastly, kind of the elephant in the room. We saw the news. I guess it was yesterday or the day before that broke where Barry Braun arrested there, and I wasn't sure what all was happening with that. I had seen some of the stuff on some of the dirt track sites to where some races had been postponed or whatever. I didn't know that people were owed the amount of money that was still floating around right there. That sounds like it's been an absolute mess, and I think that he maybe just
overstretched his boundary just a little bit.
The wrong one got a little butt hurt and financially hurt and really pursued this, because I'm seeing some big time shit and we won't go into detail because I don't know what's actually official, but just from what we see, this looks like a mess. This looks like an absolute mess, and yet another black eye for the sport.
Well, this would be the story that gets picked up by all the half-ass, fly by night, Facebook pages that like to, and they're not necessarily spreading fake news, but what is it? Clickbait, I think is what it's called.
Yeah. Well, and that's where these stories happen like this. And this is where I wish that people would, our sport just attracts us, doesn't it? It's like, I mean, you see stuff that happens. I mean, this happens in all sports, but it's like our sport is really the one that just draws in these fine Americans to do these things, and it will. I mean, when you start talking about ripping people off of money and big time money, I mean big time money, and that's where, like, I enjoy the conversation that we just had tonight about what's going on in St. Louis, to where it's like, you see how that is done. That is what we need. And folks are going to say, well, yeah, but they're able to do that because of whatever. Well, yeah, don't attempt to do shit that you can't do. Don't start making all these promises and doing all these different things. I mean, how many racetracks around here have been bought and people come in and are going to do all this is nothing new. But when it hits this magnitude, that's like, holy smoke, that just makes everything look really
like
bad.
This is like a TMZ kind of thing that's really going to be popping up here. I'm surprised it didn't already hit TMZ. But I'm not really a huge follower of TMZ because, I don't follow that kind of stuff on social media, but I'm sure that it'll be, it's the type of just the type of story that you expect to be a bunch of rednecks, right?
Well, and that's where the stereotype goes back to. I mean, when you see this kind of shit, that's the stereotype that comes back. It's like, yep, racing. There you go. Guy came in and swindled a bunch of people, and everybody jumped on and clamored on it and bought in. And
I mean, hell, that was the main storyline behind the remake of the Dukes of Hazzard when Boss Hogg was going to sell all of Hazard County to a strip mine.
yeah, I just saw that one the other day. That's right.
The remake with Jessica Simpson?
Oh no, I saw one where he was doing strip mining. It was like in the 84, 85.
Oh yeah,
season.
yeah. He was going to do that in that episode too, the original series. Yeah.
Yeah, it was that one girl that fell in love with Luke Duke, and they rolled the car over at the end where Luke said, roll it over, and they flipped. But anyway, yeah, sad thing right there. But can't say you didn't see it coming. Can't say you didn't see it coming. So be better, friends. Be better about that. All right, man. This has been a fun program. Great conversations tonight. Cody Summer joining us, talking about the Gateway Dirt Nationals happening. #Dirt in December there in St. Louis. And of course, talk to our man, Matthew LaPrade. I love how he called, that was funny right there where he's talking about him and he's saying that kid.
The kid talking about Grant. Yeah.
Yeah. Grant Thompson. That's a good kid.
It's a good kid. Yeah.
Kid. You're the kid. That's two good kids. That is two good kids. And Jared Maupin is a damn good kid too.
Well, it's like the college kids, you always hear the coach talk about, I got great kids and they're 22 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. Or Pavia. Dude's like 35.
27, isn't he? 27, something like that.
I think he's 24. It's not that bad. I make a bigger deal about it than it is. But anyway,
you're just a fan of his mom.
Not so much, man. Just no, not really. No, not so much. She was hammering down at DKR. I could tell. The closer they got, she had her plastic cup in her hand. And she's like getting pretty excited because they were going to make a run. But coming up, temperature changes. It was awful cold. It's going to get hot again. We got rain coming over the weekend. What do we have here? You mentioned, so we've got the South Texas, the race.
South Texas shootout is. I have it written on my other calendar.
Yeah, that's next week, I think.
Next week, yeah, the 22nd and 23rd.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's a 3 days. Might be Fridays. That might be Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But I have to double check and look.
Yeah, absolutely. All of that coming up, and again, you can keep up with everything that we're doing on the.
We try to keep up as much as we can on the Facebook page, but.
Yeah, that's the best place to go. As these things pop up, you get all the great information right there. Rest of the week for you, my man. What's going on? I got I'm going to Radwood on Saturday. I've got a work event, Radwood, happening at Circuit of the Americas. It's like a 80s and 90s celebration with those type of cars, 80s and 90s cars. There's music. It's an event put on by my work, and Mobile One is also a part of that. And it's supposed to be a pretty cool event, kind of a short event. I'll be out of there by 3:00, be back home in time to watch Texas, Georgia, do some post game. So yeah, good weekend coming up, and then rain on Monday. So boom, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to play a little catch up. Just, been putting off kind of cleaning out the garage a little bit. Got some more stuff in there that I need to put away. Made some Halloween stuff. Might work on some Christmas decorations and some other stuff. And I don't know. This week's a little up and down. Just because I had yesterday off for the veterans. Thank you, veterans, for all that you do. So that was a little bit kind of throwing my week off. You work for a day, you're off for a day, kind of back and forth kind of deal. So once I get in the groove, but yeah, it depends on the weather. I know that I'm going to the first home high school football game for SMHS in 10 years. So,
they get
Eagle Pass.
Eagle Pass.
That's a winnable game.
Yeah,
so they end up playing Dripping. I think they play Dripping Springs in the next round as long as Dripping Springs wins their game. So I think
they will. They got Bowie. I think if I'm not mistaken.
I think the San Marcos plays Dripping Springs if they win. So it'll be a short-lived playoff run. So
Lake Travis, Round Rock, Westlake, Vandergrift up this way. So that'll be fun. And then Monday, your boy will be at jury duty. So we'll have updates on how that goes. If y'all don't see me next week, it's that I got summoned. Yeah, I got sequestered. So
we get any good winning comments tonight?
Let's see. What do we have here? I like what Brian Benedict said right here. He said the kid interviews fantastic. Yeah, that's for sure. Then we have here. Jay says can't wait for the Hamlin Revenge tour. I guess that's where I saw that. I like what Josh says here, to where it needs to be like the first Cars movie. Forecast. Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, it's all right. That's all right.
Rusty's trying to be part of the fun right now.
And then Brian says, ouch again. But that was a great comment, Brian. I mean, and by the way, congratulations to Brian Benedict as well, speaking of that. So another great night for him there at Houston. Another great season there at Houston. And the Houston, I saw some dates for Houston. We'll figure out if that's official, and we'll pass those on.
I think it is. They were posted in the driver's shed. So
is it there? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll touch on that next week. Well, we'll touch on it at some point. All right. You guys enjoy the rest of your week. Watch the weather and be smart.
Enjoy the Northern Lights. Apparently the Northern Lights are out tonight again. So for a good, 3/4 of the United States to be able to view them tonight.
Absolutely.
And they might be on right now.
Yeah. Go on out there and take a look at that. Don't be out there running around naked. We don't need any of that going on out there. And if you're going to do that out there, do it smartly, I guess, right?
I guess. Oh, and don't forget, today is the last day they produce pennies.
Oh, I saw that. No more pennies.
No more pennies. So now is it a nickel for your thought instead of a penny for your thought?
Well, I saw them talking about something on the news, on the local news, where I guess what they're gonna start doing now is rounding up to the nickel, I guess. Does that make any sense?
That's what they do at a casino. They don't give you any change at all.
Yeah. No more pennies, but the penny's always going to be around. They said it still counts as currency. It'll still be, if it, $1.02. If you go to the store and you're going to get you one of them 24 ounces, not while you're driving, but if you're going to buy one of those and it's like $2.03, if you have 3 pennies, you can still use them.
They're not eliminating the currency. They're just eliminating new production of it.
Not going to make them anymore. So, man, I'll tell you what would be cool to find. Well, I guess you won't find one. Is to find like a penny that says 2026. Well, I guess you won't see that, right? So
you see it 2025 because they stopped making them today. You won't see 2026.
Damn, no more pennies, man. Everybody's
apparently it costs more to make a penny than it's worth. So
I saw that it's worth more than 1 cent. Yeah, I think I saw it cost like 4 cents to make them, or something like that. So, what's going to happen? People are going to go in an uproar. People that didn't give a shit about pennies they're going to be mad, Bobby. They're going to be mad.
That's the way the world works.
About pennies. Bring the pennies back. I'm gonna find all the ones that I have and
put them in a jar. Yeah, put them in a jar.
Cherish them. Absolutely. All right, you guys. We'll do it again next week. Either Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Hell, who knows when? Just be sure and check the socials, and we'll get you updated with everything that's going on. He's down south here in Central Texas. It's Showtime Bobby Chaffee. I'm Rodney Rodriguez. Thank all of you for being a part of this. Be sure and like the YouTube page. Be sure and like all the socials, Racing America as well, and support all the people that support this show. You guys be well, and we'll see you next week. #Real Race Talk from Texas. This has been the Revved Up Sports Show.